This is the prep packet video for chapter 9.8 in unit 4. We're working on objective number 2, where we multiply and divide square roots that contain negative numbers. Now, as we've said before, the letter I stands for the square root of negative 1, and I squared stands for negative 1. So wherever you see I squared in an expression, replace it with negative 1. So here is a simple multiplication problem, and I want you to remember that there is a giant danger zone here. That's supposed to be a skull and crossbones. Danger. Because I know, even I would like to do this. Negative 8 times negative 2. So that's just a negative times a negative is a positive. And great. But no, that's wrong. Because we're dealing with imaginary numbers, we have some different things to deal with. So if you have negative 8 times negative 2, that's the same as saying you have the square root of negative 1 times the square root of 8 times the square root of negative 1 times the square root of 2. Now, this and this, yep, that's definitely the square root of 16. But stop and think about this for just a second. If you get the square root of negative 1 times the square root of negative 1, well, that's just negative 1. And you'll end up with the square root of 16 is 4 times negative 1 equals negative 4. I know, it's kind of cuckoo, but you're going to have to just relax and think about it. Again, no, that might be your first instinct, but remember, we're in the twilight zone now, so things are a little bit different. So let's take a look at these. Here I have the square root of negative 12 times the square root of negative 3. Here's a trick. If in the very beginning you write I times the square root of 12 times I times the square root of 3, you won't have to worry so much about falling into the black hole of this. Because this will end up as I squared, right? Because I times the square root of 12 times the square root of 3. That's going to stay there, times the square root of 36. The square root of 36 is just 6, right? This is negative 1. Negative 1 times 6 is negative 6. Again, pull that I out first so you won't make the mistake. Here I have the square root of 3. That's going to stay the same. And then I have I root 6. So you can multiply this by this. So you're going to have I times the square root of 3 times 6, which is 18. I, and that's 9 times 2. So the 3 will come out of that. So 3I root 2. Again, do it first, do it early, because you'll make sure that you don't try to do what you're used to doing. Go ahead and get some more practice on page 590. I really encourage practice on this one because it's a new concept and you want to give yourself a chance. And we'll see you in the next video.